What's up, traders? What's up, tycoons? We got to talk about gold and go over the most important data out right now. We're going to take a look at what the CTAs are doing with gold. We're going to take a look at CTA positioning in gold. Then we'll take a look at gold holdings, buying ETFs. All right, we'll take a look at the central bank net purchases of gold, and then we'll break down very quickly the inverse relationship between the dollar and gold, which is why you want to pay attention to the dollar as well as the gold futures. Okay, so we're going to do a quick video on this one and really go over some of that data that I just provided to you guys. I just dropped a really good technical analysis video going over gold and the dollar. That's definitely worth watching. But as always, the content provided in this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So be sure to read through the disclaimer. You guys can sign up for the free newsletter called Investment Intelligence. I started for you guys, giving out free trade ideas, free valuable content, highlighting the chart conditions on the chart, showing you guys the chart, and you can see that many of these trades have played out very well. Rivian was one of the most recent newsletter, trade ideas, and that play is just looking absolutely beautiful. Rivian up over like 10% at the last time I saw it, just today alone. All right, you can also join the Investment Intelligence Discord. That's where you'll get access to all of the different trade ideas, all of the different plays that I'm in, and you get access to the custom scripts and indicators, as well as many other resources available. Okay, so let's talk about CTA. So CTA trend followers are nearing their effective max long position in gold and silver markets. With this cohort's purchases exhausted, even if the precious metals notable rally, the algo buying activity that has sparked the recent bear trap is likely to evaporate. And this is from TD's CTA tracker. And so when you take a look at the CTA positioning in gold, all right, you have the CTA positioning estimate in, green right here in the shaded green. Okay, and then you have the gold prices here in, the dark green line, kind of black. All right, and you can see that as the positioning has gone up, right, we've seen the price of gold gone up, and CTAs are very much trend followers. Okay, and so they typically follow the trends that are really strong. And so you can see here when gold started to dip off a little bit and put in this double top, CTAs were still very long, and then the trend turned bearish, and you see that the positioning in CTAs goes down. So keep in mind what we just read about here from TD's CTA tracker. Basically that they're near their effective max long position. And when we take a look at the price of gold, it seems that all of a sudden the algos and the CTAs just stop buying up gold all at once, right? And we'll kind of break that down a little bit more. If you take a look at the gold bullion price, okay, and then the gold holdings by ETFs, all right, this has been in a decline, right? So there's less gold being held by the ETFs, but we're still seeing, and we actually saw gold break out and make new highs. And a big reason for this is because of central banks, right? Central bank net purchases of gold. If you take a look, it's been absolutely, it's been very strong in 2023. Okay, but here in September, they were purchasing large amounts. Okay. And really starting in September, we started to see the central banks buy a ton of gold. We also started to see that kick off in March, of course, when the bank failure happened and people were looking for a flight to safety. People were purchasing into gold, and that trend is very strong. Okay, we're seeing central banks buying gold at levels that we haven't seen in decades, really, right? I mean, this is all the way back to March 2010. The last time we were even close to these levels was September of 2018, and we're well above those levels right now. So this is one of the main factors that's really been driving up the price of gold. Okay, is that right? And you also have BRICS, basically trading now outside of the US dollar, saying that they're going to trade in their own currencies. And that's been something that's been weakening the dollar. And so, the relationship between the dollar and gold is an inverse relationship. So as the dollar goes down, gold typically will go up. And so we've got an inverse Dixie chart right here, all right, versus gold. So gold is obviously going to be the gold line, and the inverse Dixie is going to be the green line. So as the green line goes down, what this means is that the dollar is actually rising, okay, because it's an inverse Dixie. All right, so you can see here that the inverse relationship between the dollar and gold is very strong and prevalent, right? As gold is going up, the inverse Dixie is going up, meaning that the dollar is dropping. As gold starts dropping, the inverse Dixie is dropping. And you can see that this is played out very well, and they track each other very closely. So, that's another factor, right? Besides the central banks is, if you have the dollar dropping, okay, which this right here is this period where the dollar is dropping. And we talked about that large central bank buying and starting in September. again, and this is the beginning of October, and you see that, you know, the inverse Dixie is rising up here, meaning that the dollar has been dropping. That's very bullish for gold. Okay, those are some of the bullish factors. Now, to pay attention, you know, right now, you really want to see, you know, is Dixie going to potentially come up and retest this upwards trend line here? Right now, it's basically consolidating between 104.39 and 103.477. And we're going to be looking for the next move, right? Do we break above those levels or do we break back down? If we break back down, 102.56 is that support level that we just bounced off of here again recently. And this is, you know, we're seeing the dollar bouncing, and, you know, we saw Dixie, or we saw gold come up here and make those new highs, right? It finally made new highs, busted through the supply zone up here. And it makes sense if we get a little bit of a pullback, right? The 200-day moving average is just above 1950. So 1950 is going to be a very high level of interest area for me to potentially go long. All right. And after we came up and made new highs, we were looking for a pullback. We've already retraced to the 38.2, which is at 2028. And we're starting to hold a little bit of support there. But we have plenty of room to drop down and still be in healthy retracement territory, such as 1989 and 1950. All right. And, you know, those are areas where, you know, I'm kind of expecting a pullback, but ultimately I think gold can continue to go higher. And if we break past its recent highs, 2250 is going to be the next target, right? And afterwards, if we do come up to 2250, we would look for some type of an ABC correction to come back down and test 2130, or potentially the top of this the bottom of this previous supply zone, right around 2060, 2070. Okay, so you know, those are the main things that I'm looking at with gold. I did a really good, detailed, in-depth technical analysis video, but I forgot to include a lot of that data that I just showed you guys right here. So that's why I dropped this video. Feel free to watch that video right now if you guys want to get a little bit more in-depth. All right. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, giving out free trade ideas, free valuable content every single week. All right. If you're fans of that, you'll definitely enjoy that newsletter, so you can get those, you know, directly to your inbox. All right. You can also sign up for my Ko-Fi page and click on commissions. That's where you can book all of your, you know, coaching sessions, all of the one-on-one sessions, right? You can do a 30-minute or 1-hour session and book those directly through Ko-Fi. Or you guys can join the Investment Intelligence Discord and get access to all of the different trade ideas. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Smash the like button, subscribe for more, and check out that gold technical analysis video right here.